Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wahyuni. I'm from BSE University. This video is intended to fulfill the midterm task of one of my subjects, cultural appreciation. Cultural appreciation is the process of identifying, defending, and interpreting a literary work from a critical perspective. Culture explores concepts, emotions, places, people, and events. It has the ability to debate, explore emotions with detailed or impressionistic images and wrote lyrics. We may examine the use of basic figure of speech such as personification, metaphor, metonymy, and allusion, as well as the identification and appreciation of sound and structural devices in order to get different understanding and appreciation of the works. Which is the logical. And the analytics include the types of poetry, the first and sound of the poem, figure of speech, rhyme, alliteration, and rhythm and meter. The first poem is The Cry of a Dreamer. It's a poem from John Boyle O'Reilly. The type of this poem is lyric poetry. Lyric poetry is a type of poetry that emphasizes personal or emotional feelings. Lyric poems are particularly good in affecting the reader's senses, feelings, and emotions, as well as encouraging personal engagement. This poem reflects a longing to escape the financial and cultural demands of contemporary life, finding refuge in nature and the simplicity of childhood. The speaker highlights how dreams and imagination are timeless and transcend the routine activities of everyday life. The poem shares a similar tone with earlier works by O'Reilly, which frequently dealt with themes of escape, nostalgia, and the beauty of nature. It reflects the Victorian sentimentality and romanticism of the era, portraying a longing for a more simple and genuine life, genuine way of life. This poem's birth and sound might be characterized as elegant, thoughtful, and reflective. The speaker expresses the fatigue and unhappiness with the rough and battle of civil life. In the middle of society, superficiality and deformity, there is a need for authenticity and the truth. The tone is gloomy yet hopeful, as the speaker takes refuge in the concept of being a dreamer, someone who thinks into their aspiration and imagination, which they perceive as lasting beyond the fleeting nature of labor and societal expectation. There is a comparison not between the dreamer spirit and the functioning existence of the worker of a team part. There are so many figures which find this poem. And we start from the first one, and that is metonymy. It is a literary device in which a work of text stands for a closely related word of text or object. Metonymy gives a writer more variability with expression. In this poem, we can see the example from the line. In the crowded types of men, the phrase refers to the busyness and complexity of urban life. Types is defined as areas that are crowded and packed, while man is a broad term for people. And then hyperbole. It is a deliberate exaggeration that adds emphasis, urgency, or excitement to excitement. In this form, we can see the example, and a tailor dies in the day. This exaggeration highlights how temporary the tailor's life is in contrast to the dreamer's life, which is permanent. And then irony. It is a situation that suffers a reader's expectations. In this form, we can see this the example from this line. There is nothing sweet in beauty, but the passion leaves of the poor. This statement is ironic because it compares the lack of sweetness in the city with the toughness and endurance of the life of the poor, suggesting that true sweetness or sweetness can be found in unexpected places. And then personification. It is finding human attributes in non-human things. And the example from this line, from this poem is the daughter's heart grown willful, and the father's heart that bleeds. The father and daughter's heart are signified in the line, expressing feelings and human behavior associated with them. And the last one we got imagery. And the last one is imagery. It uses descriptive language that means something different than or goes beyond the literal definition of the word. In this form, the example is our fly to the wood, low rustle, and the middle sandy page. This line shows vivid image of the quiet rustling of trees in the wood and the peaceful scenery of meadows. Poetry is usually divided into discrete and or separate lines on a page. The lines may be based on the number of musical beats or may highlight a rhyming pattern at the end of lines. Poems can be arranged in first paragraphs which do not employ regular rhymes with set rhythms, but instead develop the poetic tone with a variety of rhythms, alliterations, and rhymes that are arranged in paragraph form. Rhymes are found in all forms of poetry. Although not all rhymes have rhyme schemes, since they don't always appear in regular patterns or at the end of the line or at the end of lines. In this form, it's mostly used ABAB CBCD line pattern, with the final word of every other line rhyming. This is the rhyming scheme of the first stanza. The rhyming scheme is ABAB CBCD. The same goes with the second stanza, but the word lie, by, play, and day can be considered as plain rhyme. And the same goes with stanza. This is the same with the first stanza. And the last stanza, we got 4 lines, and the rhyming scheme of this is ABB. Another element present in this form is alliteration. In this we can see the alliteration is the repetition of the same sound at the start of a series of words in succession which purpose to provide an audible proof. Alliteration is the repetition of the same consonant sound. In this example, you can see there are 6 showy singing with the repetition of the sound S, and then lie in lines with the repetition of sound L. And this form also includes affinities. Here we can see in the first example, very buildings, spoilings, building again is the repetition of the vowel sounds I, Y, and then the second example is the repetition of the vowel sounds O, and the third example is the repetition of the vowel sound with R, that is glimmer, forever, and toiler. And the last example is the repetition of sound E, of the sound I and double E, with nothing, sweet, and steady. The last element in this form is rhythm and meter. Rhythm refers to the overall tempo or pace, while meter refers to a measured beat established by patterns of stressed and unstressed syllables. The poem's rhythm and meter play a crucial role in its overall melody and flow. Even though the poem does not precisely stick to a steady metric throughout, it does follow an iambic rhythm in which unstressed and stressed syllables alternate in each line. Here is the analysis of the rhythm and meter of the cry of the German poem. The first example, it has 4 metrical beats with the rhythmic pattern dedam, dedam, dedam. And the second example, it has 5 metric feet, and the beat is still iambic, but the meter is slightly more correct due to the extra beat. Overall, the poem has a flowing melodic feel due to its rhythm and meter, and its structure is made more interesting and complex by the fluctuation in the number of metrical feet. The poem's iambic rhythm keeps everything moving along at a constant pace and unifies it. The repetitional meter can distribute certain lines more depth and impact. And then the second analysis of the second poem, there is no depth. Both the first poem and this one are lyric poems. The main goal of lyric poetry is to express emotions, fears, or insights. John Lucky uses imagery of nature to illustrate this point. comparing the death of stars to their rebirth in the sky and the death of flowers to their renewal in the spring. This poem addresses the concept of a hereafter in a hopeful and comforting way. The poem's message conveys the idea that death is not the end, but rather a gateway to a new and better life. Network's poem shares similarities with other Victorian-era poems that address themes of death and the afterlife in comparison to other works of the same era. However, it is unique in its use of simple language and relatable imagery, making it accessible to a wide audience. The poem's voice and tone may be characterized as consoling, reassuring, and optimistic. The speaker has a firm and self-assured voice. He conveys a strong belief in the notion that life endures in all its manifestations, even in the face of seeming death. The poem offers comfort for those who have lost loved ones with its optimistic and reassuring tone. This combination of words and sound reassures and uplifts the spirit of the reader, allowing them to peacefully contemplate and accept the deeper mysteries of life and death. This poem uses a lot of beautiful figure of speech, much like the first one did. And the first is the personification. Figure of speech in which an inanimate object or abstraction is endowed with human qualities or abilities. In this poem, the example is the stars go down to rest upon some other shore. The personification of the stars suggests movement and change by giving the stars human characteristics. And then metaphor. In this poem, you can see the example from this line. And bright in heaven's jeweled crown, they shine forevermore. The metaphorical analogy of stars to diamonds in a crown highlights their enduring and dazzling quality. Hyperbole. In this poem, we can see the example from the rocks disorganized that give the hunger most they bear. Because rock together and add minerals to the soil, so the word disorganized afterward this process for positive effect, highlighting the concept of natural regeneration and metamorphosis. And then metonymy. In this poem, you can see the example from the choicest gift that heaven had kindly lent to earth. The choicest gift represents blessings or divine favors from heaven. With metonymy and about a more comprehensive solution to different refers that God has bestowed upon humanity. And then euphemism. Euphemism is a way to say something in an understated manner. It's often to avoid difficult topics like money, debt, or sex. In this form, the example is the dust we press for change, beneath the summer's the worst. To soften the difficult topic, the word change is used euphemistically to describe the process of decay or metamorphosis. And the last one is imagery. In this example, in this poem, we have two examples that is beneath the summer showers conjures up the sound and sensation of rain, and then bright in heaven's jeweled crown paints a picture of celestial beauty. Speaking of rhyme, the difference in the number of stanzas between the first and second poems complicates the analysis of this element. And for this reason, I will not analyze all the 7 stanzas of the second poem because it contains too many rhymes. Here is the first stanza. It has do, re, mi, si, a, b, e, b. Meanwhile, the second stanza is a, b, c, d. And for the third and fourth stanza, it's also a, b, c, d. And then we go to another element. It is alliteration. And here we can see the repetition of the first example is S. And the repetition of the second example is also S and G. And the last example, it has the repetition of W. And the next one is assonance. In the first example, it has the repetition of O sound. And the second one, it has the repetition of A sound. And the last example, it has the repetition of at. sound. Or a, and the last element in the poem is rhythm and meter. Because of the different common lines and stanzas with the perfect form, I analyze it in different ways. In the first stanza, each line has a slightly different rhythmic pattern, but overall it can be analyzed as iambic pentameter. The rhythm flows smoothly, creating a melodic rhythm. The first stanza. The iambic pentameter pattern contains with each line flowing smoothly and melodically. This rhythm reinforces the sense of resilience and renewal expressed in the poem. And the final stanza also follows the iambic pentameter pattern with a smooth, flowing rhythm that causes the poem. The consistency of the rhythm throughout the poem contributes to its musicality and emotional resonance. Overall, the poem has a largely iambic pentameter rhythm with changes in emphasis and word count that provide depth and complexity to its lyrical qualities. To conclude, the cry of the dreamer and there is death are two powerful poems that use a range of literary devices to delve into themes of transcendence, life, and death. Through the use of figurative language and other aspects, these poems capture the beauty and complexity of the human experience, inspiring readers to reflect on the mysteries of existence and the power of breath and words. Here is the references. All from my presentation for the midterm test. Thank you so much.